Hi families, I'm here to share with you a different strategy we're going to be using this week. I wanted to remind you of the strategy we used last week really quick. It was called the make a 10 strategy. So for this strategy, we tried to make the greater number into a 10. So in this case, I said, oh, 9 is close. I only need one more. I can take one from my neighbor. So if I have 3 and I take 1, I'm left with 2. And the kids know that from part whole. If I put 9 and 1 together, I get 10. And then 10 and 2, putting together the parts I have left, give me 12. So that was the make a 10 strategy. This week, we're going to be learning the take a 10 strategy. We use take a 10 when we're taking away, subtracting. So the first thing I like to show the kids is where to find the whole, because that's the number that we're going to be taking the 10 from. A lot of kids will say, oh, the whole comes first. And they're talking about in an equation that this 40 is the first thing we're seeing. And that is not always the case, because I could write it like this. And the answer to a subtraction sentence is called the difference. So the difference can come at the end or it can come at the beginning. So instead of saying that the whole is the first number, I always like to say that the whole comes right before the subtraction sign. Right before the subtraction sign. That makes more sense. So the whole is what we are going to be looking at, and it's going to help us when we would like to subtract in our heads. So if I'm looking at 40 minus 7, I can split 40 into 2 parts. And I'm going to take one part as the 10. And I like to put that 10 on this side so it's closer to my next number. And if I took 40, I'm left with 30. So now I can say, well, 10 minus 7 is 3. And now I'm left with 2 parts because remember, this 40 was broken apart. So now I'm left with 30 and 3. I don't have to subtract these because 10 was over here and I took away 7, so there's 3 left. So if I put 30 and 3 together, I get 33. And let me show you what I mean really quick. A lot of times the kids will get really confused with this 3 and they'll want to say 30 minus 3, which is why I kind of circled the subtraction sign in here. This whole part is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. If I take away 7, I'm left with 3. So this 3 is really here now. And then I can put 2 parts together, 30 and 3, to make a whole. I know that seems a little confusing, but basically what I'm trying to tell you is we don't subtract 30 minus 3 at the end. You've already done your subtraction. That's why the subtraction sign's circled in here. So now you just put your parts together. Let's try another one. 13 minus 8. Take out a 10. And if I had 13 and took out a 10, I'd be left with 3. I like to just put a little squiggly through it so the kids know we've already used it. Now I can say 10 minus 8 is 2. I'm left with 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. Let's try one more. 23 minus 9. If I take out a 10, that leaves me with 13 on this side. If I put 10 minus 9 in my circle, 10 minus 9 is 1. 13 and 1 is 14. Now, the reason we like to tell the kids to use this way is because in the beginning, when we started, we taught them to do something called subtract like units. So, for example, if they had something like, 25 minus 3, they could say 2 tens, 5 ones minus 3 ones, and they would draw it out. And they would say that they had to take away 3 ones, and they take away 3 ones, and that would give them the answer, 23. But if you look back at these ones that we just did, 13 minus 8, if I drew out 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, I can't take away 8 ones. There's only 3 ones to take away. What I have to do is break up this 10 rod into 10 ones. So that's why we're trying to get them to see it this way. Again, you can't do 3 minus 9, but I could break this number up and think about it in a different way. So this is just a strategy that they can use for math if it's helping them. If you need any help, please reach out. Thanks. Have a great day.